Hi there, welcome to Six Sided Studios. I'm Gene, and this is Carlito. And for the first time ever, welcome to a segment we're calling Carlitoclix. Now, Dane is not here right now. He's away at the San Diego Comic-Con. But there'll be more about Dane's adventures at Comic-Con to come. For now, though, I'm here with Carlito, and we're here to talk to you about the new Heroclix set.
How does that happen? We both have full-time jobs, and we don't get to go to Comic-Con. And Dane, who doesn't work.
Well, yeah.
Life's not fair, folks.
Life's
Just not fair. But we did get to pick up some Chaos War. This is like Christmas to us gamers. You know, I buy a lot of it, I spend way too much money, and then maybe I play some games later. But I want to talk to you about this brand new set that just came out yesterday. You know, from when we're filming this, of course. And we're going to take a look at some of the models. I'm going to open up some packs, talk to you about what I dislike and like about the set. And we have Gene here to basically listen to me talk, so I'm not lonely while I'm making this video.
Yeah, I don't know much about Heroclix, a little bit, but I'm definitely interested in looking at the sculpts, the models, which seem to be getting better almost every Heroclix set. There's cool, better models and that sort of thing coming out, and check out what this set has to offer.
All right. So hopefully I do a good job and I can convince Gene to start playing some Heroclix with us and drop that GW garbage. All right, so let's get to the table. We'll open up some packs and lay out the map, and you can take a look at some models.
Awesome.
All right, guys. So we had a chance to open up our packs and look at some of the models. Chance to play a couple games and everything. And from what the 3 bricks that I bought, from what I pulled, this is the stuff that I really like. We'll see some tournament play. Some of them are actually just pulled out because I want to talk about them, even though I think they're more fun pieces than actual competitive pieces. First thing I want to bring up are these 3 pieces all in a row. Hawkeye, Taskmaster, and Baron Zemo. All of them have the Thunderbolts keyword, so they're that's why I'm bringing them all up at once, because one, they can all use the Thunderbolts ATA, which is phenomenal. They're all in the anywhere between 98 and 139 points. Baron Zemo's 100, and Taskmaster's 139, and Hawkeye's 98. They're all great pieces for their point cost. Hawkeye is like a cheaper, fair version of Bullseye. Gene isn't aware of what Bullseye did, but he was ridiculous. Thank God he rotated it out. Hawkeye's less powerful, thankfully. He's cheaper though as well, and he's a nice shooter. And with the Thunderbolts keyword, he's going to be able to play a lot like Bullseye did, and give you a few more options too. I actually really like him. Next, we have Baron Zemo. He's kind of the leader of the team. He has the Thunderbolts Gambit. When you build your force, characters that possess the Masters of Evil keyword or team ability also possess the Thunderbolts keyword. If your force also includes the Thunderbolts' additional team ability, you may assign it to them. So he actually gives you a nice range, allowing you to make a lot of characters Thunderbolts and build some really cool theme teams. He actually makes that happen. And again, he works as their leader. He has leadership. Now, usually leadership on 100-point characters isn't very good, because you can only take actions off of characters that are cheaper than you. And at 100 points, that's a little, and Master of Evil are usually very expensive. But he is considered 150 points when using leadership or mastermind if he's adjacent to a character with the Thunderbolts keyword. So he is unbelievable. This actually special power gives him leadership, mastermind, and outwit. So he can push damage on other people, take tokens off his minions, be considered a higher point cost for the privilege, have outwit, and then he's a stealth shooter with willpower. He's really good. Way better, in my opinion, than the Captain America version, who was 150 points. Just too expensive. He was good if you were playing like a 1,000-point game, but how often was so long. And then my favorite of the bunch is Taskmaster. He is the strongest of the three. He has this awesome trait where you cannot change his combat values. Like your opponent can't change his combat values. He has the ability to choose a standard power on an opposing character within 8 squares of the line of fire with 1 or more action tokens he can use, and he can use that power. So he has the ability to steal some powers because he's a little light on powers on each click,
Yeah.
so but he can actually take them. And then his clear power is enhancement and leadership. So when he succeeds a roll for leadership, adjacent friendly characters modify their attack and range values by +1. So immediately, you can imagine how well Taskmaster and Baron Zemo work together.
That's awesome.
Baron Zemo can take actions off him.
Mm-hmm.
He can take actions off Baron Zemo. He's going to give him more damage, putting him up to 4, and potentially giving him more attack as well. They actually work really well together. They're really cool.
Yeah.
So they're a team on their own. As far as like competitive tournament pieces, Baron Zemo I don't think will make that cut because he is meant to be a bit more of a theme piece. But Taskmaster and Hawkeye, I think you have the potential to see them actually get played a fair bit. Next, I wanted to talk about some of the great jobs that they did on cheap support pieces that make all the difference. Sharon Carter is one of them. She gives adjacent friendly Avengers characters stealth. So you can imagine creeping up with Wolverine, Iron Man, Thor, any of those guys. Even characters who, like Spider-Man in some cases, giving them all stealth, even the cheaper characters, giving them all stealth is awesome. You definitely want to push her, getting her onto her Perplex click too. So she's shield, she helps increase your range or damage, just off that team ability. She has willpower, so she can shoot and do a little bit of damage. She has Perplex, so she can make your team better, and she's giving everyone stealth, who she stands beside, all for 45 points. Unbelievable, great. Dinosaur, not very good, but 25 points, and can carry up to 2 characters, 3 if they have the Great Lakes Avengers keyword. And for each character she carries, she only reduces her movement by 1. So you can carry 1 character, and instead of getting the standard -2 to your movement, it's only -1, you can move up to 9 squares, or carry 2 people and be the standard -2 for your movement. So for much like the very old Vulture, that was totally competitive worthy, because he was 13 points in carry people. So she's 25 points in carry. She's kind of like a little bit more expensive, a little bit more fair, but can carry multiple characters, really cool. Also fitting in this, there are other models. Some of them I didn't pull, some of them these are the ones that I want to highlight. From the Fast Forces, we have Scarlet Witch. At 50 points, you're getting penetrating attack with 2 damage, so you can do a little bit of damage.
Yes.
Perplex and probability control.
Okay.
And at 75 points, you can play her 2 different points. She has Perplex, probability control, no penetrating, but she gets telekinesis, so she can throw those beat sticks up there.
Sweet.
Very nice piece here.
How many points?
75 or 50. You can play her 2 different point values.
Cool.
Donald Blake, he's probably one of my favorites. He has the Avengers keyword, so you don't break theme by playing him, which is really nice.
That is sweet.
He has 11 attack and support, which is already really good for only 33 points. And then he can turn into Thor.
Which is, of course, what Donald Blake does.
Yeah. And Thor himself, for 33 points, is actually a threat when you turn him in from Donald Blake.
Mm-hmm.
9 movement with running shot, the 8 range, and 3 damage.
And then the really cool special ability.
Summon as Guardian Blizzard. He turns the map into the Shadowlands map, where characters can't target people if they're more than 6 squares away. So it really is nice with melee beatstick armies and things like that. And even Thor on his own, starting him at 200 points, my only real issue with him is no Indomitable. But I mean, at 200 points, he is a charge, a super strength, impervious beatstick, which is what Thor should be. He's not hypersonic in you. He's very flavorful. He's very cool. And all you got to do is push him once, and on 200 points, he gets the Asgardian Blizzard power. And then if he takes a bunch of damage, he becomes a hypersonic brick. Just all-around good piece. He changes as he takes damage, not by too much, but he's always useful. I really like this Thor. And then Hank Pym, which actually I want to talk about the morph power. He's really cool. He himself is just a 75 point piece, 10 attack, only 5 range, only 1 damage, but has outwit, so he's a cheap outwitter, and he has Tinkerer Supreme. Okay. Give Hank Pym free action if he occupies a square of light or heavy. If he occupies a square with a light or heavy object, and choose a standard attack power, he can use that power. So if you need him to become a penetrating piece, he's there. If you're playing him with Sharon Carter and you need hindering terrain in Smoke Cloud, that's an option. It's usually Smoke Cloud isn't a very good power, but it's there. Yeah. Incapacitate, he has it. You can get a lot of options with him, and you just get to pick.
And very flavorful too.
Very flavorful. Back to that morph power, he actually has the ability to turn in to Giant Man. They made a 75 point Colossal, and that's actually going to be a Comic-Con exclusive from San Diego. So hopefully Dan picks one up and I'm going to take it off of him.
Yeah.
So you can turn into that, and vice versa. And then he can also turn into Ant-Man, so you can grow or shrink. Really cool power. Very nice piece. Next, I want to talk about some of the more, I guess, beat sticks in the set. You have Sentry here. Sentry himself is pretty good. He has all the right powers, just not on the same place.
Okay.
He's still very powerful. Where he's really efficient, unfortunately I didn't pull him, is when you play him with Void. Because whenever Sentry takes damage, you can choose to turn him into the Void on the same click.
Oh.
And then the Void, whenever he heals, you can turn him back into Sentry. So you always have a lot of choices. Because Sentry himself is a hypersonic perplexer,
right.
And then when he takes damage every second click, he's a charged, super strength, impervious, exploit weakness. So he has that potential to do a whole lot of damage, but he can't put the dangles on you like he could if he were on his hypersonic. But it is a slightly weaker click as far as stats and damage go. Yeah. So he switches back and forth. It's pretty nice, but he is really good when you mix him with the Void. It gives you a lot of options, essentially, because the Void is a stealth shooter with 9 range that always does penetrating damage, basically.
Okay.
And later on in his dial, gets regeneration and steal energy, so has the ability to heal back up, and then you can switch back to Sentry. But that really cool. One of the great, I didn't pull him, but absolutely unbelievable characters in the set was Sentry Void, the actual dual figure. He's 300 points. Yeah. He's a power cosmic piece with hypersonic. It's really the first time they've ever given a character multi-attack in that 300 point range. So he can make 2 actions a turn. He's a hypersonic. He's really, really powerful. He's fair, I feel, because his stats actually aren't that great. For 300 points, he doesn't have 12 attack, he doesn't have 6 damage. He has 5, and when he multi-attack, it goes down to 4. When he's using hypersonic, he can't use his penetrating, but he does have a lot of options. Unbelievably powerful, worth a lot of money right now. Obviously, everyone's trying to get their hands on him.
Yeah.
But I think he's pretty fair, because you actually can't play anything else with him. You can equip the all-powerful gauntlet onto him. Yeah, you have options. I like other beat sticks that turned out really good in the set. I don't think you'll see these guys in real tournament play because they're not power cosmic for 300 points, and you can't put the gauntlet on them because they're 300 points. Which, I mean, really to look out in the tournament scenes is, and all those models that are like 260 points that can put the gauntlet on and push them over the edge and make them that much more powerful. Yeah. Those are like going to be really powerful figures. These two, Doom and Kang. Just looking at their first click, they're good all the way through, but because to save time, just talk about the first click. 11 attack, running shot. 8 range double target, they're flying. 12 attack penetrating, 19 defense, impervious, 5 damage, probability control. They're indomitable, and they have the duo attack, so they can make 2 attacks in a round if you don't use any powers.
Yeah.
That alone, just the stats and the powers, it's the perfect combination of powers in my opinion. and they have the best stats pretty much that you could hope they would have. Them, just that first click, they're absolutely phenomenal. They're very flavorful. They're super powerful. Unfortunately, they do change up a bit as they take damage, and they do go back and forth and everything. But they're super powerful based on just that, stats wise. But they're more of a fun piece, not an actual tournament piece. Some of the other big figures I think that you're going to see, I didn't pull them unfortunately. Kang at 151 points is very powerful. Trait probability control, but only for his own attacks. But I mean, stats wise, his defense is a little low, but he does great damage. He has good powers, like a good mix of powers, things like that. Very strong piece.
Yeah.
A couple other really strong pieces that are a little bit cheaper. We got Crystal here. Very flavorful with her tornado powers, and she changes up every 2 clicks. Like at first she's just a penetrating shooter, but then she has this tornado power where within her range she can use Quake as a free action, meaning she attacks a square and then everyone around that area. So she summons a tornado and attacks everyone for 2 damage. And as she takes damage, her tornadoes change. At first, it is when she uses the tornado trait, also deal 1 penetrating damage to each hit character. So you have a way to, I have invulnerable, you can't hurt me with 2 damage Quake, well, you can still do that 1 penetrating, all you gotta do is hit. Yeah. Then she gets the tornado trait, tornado power, the twin elements, water spout. She can use the tornado trait and you give an action token to each hit character. So as she takes damage, her tornadoes change powers and she summons different tornadoes.
That's cool.
And Sandstorm. When Crystal uses the tornado trait after the action resolves, hit characters can use toughness instead of a vulnerability or impervious for the rest of the turn. So if she hits you and you still have that impervious beat stick like Superman or something, well, how about I just turn that down with toughness and then have someone take him down. Very, very cool. Very, very powerful.
105 points.
Binary, 158. More of a fun piece again. I think at 158, not the greatest stats, not the greatest damage output, no Indomitable. But for 158 points, she is a hypersonic piece that the X-Men can use, which is really cool. Besides going for the Phoenix, who's 300 points basically, he's 297.
I would like to bring up a piece because you are a big Wolverine fan.
Yeah, I am.
And when you saw this Wolverine, he's like, oh, he's cool, he's Wolverine, I'll use him because he's Wolverine. And you've changed that opinion since you played a couple games.
I originally hated this Wolverine. 16 defense opening is blocked, but I've learned to live with it because usually they only give him opening 17, so no, whatever. I did like how they gave him invulnerability, but with a wit running around, you need that high defense to fall back on when you do get a wit. However, the new alternate team abilities, one of the Avengers one is absolutely amazing. You cannot be, it's only 4 points, so I add 4 points to this model, so 94 points. And what it says is, you cannot be targeted by a wit or perplex unless you've been attacked. So if your beat stick has a wit, they can't outwit Wolverine until they attack him, meaning that they won't get that use of a wit. Or if your opponent is on a clearing turn, where it's like, all I can do is clear, but I want to outwit your hypersonic, so you don't come and attack me back, or your charge. Nope, because you can't attack me. Super powerful, so it increases the chance exponentially of you actually getting to use your damage reducers. His traumatic healing I'm not a fan of, where instead of just healing 1 click every turn, he only heals a click after he's been taken a hit. Although, however, if you do a big hit to him, he can't get back up to where he's a threat.
Right.
And if he's on his last click, he may heal too, which is kind of cool because it puts him onto his regeneration click, which is nice.
Okay.
However, now he's 90 points, he's super cheap, so that gives me so much, I can make him almost immune to perplex and outwit. I can play him with Dinosaur for only 25 points, carry him in. 75 points for her to TK him in and give him perplex and probability. There's so many things I can do with him and support him. Doctor Strange to give everyone adjacent to him energy shield deflection, so he has 18 running in. Any power like that. The Batman set was full of 18 defense pieces. I'm actually really going to play him a lot. You know, he only has the Avengers and X-Men keywords, but that's all he needs. I'm going to use him a whole lot, especially with the Infinity Gauntlet and everything. I can give him Steel Energy, so he has that healing power that he should have, so he can stay on the board a lot more. He's got a really cool power, the best there is. I was playing him yesterday, and I managed to get him into attack a character with 12 attack. So all of a sudden, the best there is kicks in, and now Wolverine has your attack plus 1, so you have 13 attack. The guy had 19 defense, but
doesn't matter.
13 attack. I was able to perplex up his damage, so we did 5, which was really cool. I like, finally they made a Wolverine that just isn't using Blade's Claws all the time.
Yeah.
Because Blade's Claws is great. You know, I've been told I have super good luck when I roll blades and I always roll 6s, but then there's those times I roll 1s and just do nothing. So it's nice to see guaranteed damage. Actually reminds me a lot of the Death Wolverine, which I still do prefer a bit, but you know, I like that Death Wolverine could either charge and make 2 attacks, or charge and make 1 attack at penetrating, but his stats weren't too great, his attack wasn't too great. He solves that problem, so I both like him for different reasons. So he's another one that I'm going to really put up there, I really like.
Awesome. And then I would like to talk about what I think is the coolest of the pieces you got in your boxes is the Duo Vision Scarlet Witch. It's a great looking piece, first of all, which you know I'm all about because I'm kind of a mini snob. And the translucent vision you're sort of moving into like a cloud. It looks great. The two of them back to back are awesome.
Very nice piece. Again, more of a fun piece. They switch around too much and their stats aren't good enough, unfortunately. I love their opening click, very cool. And I think they're really, I'm going to play them a lot. I think they're a really neat piece. I'm going to use them, especially because they have made a really good Scarlet Witch and a really good Vision. Something I want to talk about right now, actually, is the split and merge power that now all dual figures have. So even the older ones from Giant Size X-Men, Brave and the Bold, they all have now the merge and split power. So I can give them a power action if they have no action tokens to now split and become her. And I don't have a Vision layout here, but there is a really good Vision I do want. The marquee figure Vision is awesome.
Yeah.
And I can turn them into 2 figures, which is really cool. And then I can also merge them if there's no other friendly. When this character is adjacent to another friendly character that represents the distinct qualifying character listed, either Vision or Scarlet Witch, or their real names, I can turn them back into this. And one of the nice things is, I use them on their higher click. So if I split them up and Vision gets knocked down to being on his last click, and Scarlet Witch is at her first click, I turn them into this on their first click. It's actually a way of denying my opponent points in a really competitive, it's kind of a dick move, but you know, in a really competitive environment, or and just a way to keep Vision alive. You know, you can split up. What would be really cool is if they ever make a Colossus with Wolverine Colossus, I can split them up, and then Wolverine can run away, heal up to full. They merge back together, and now I'm back to Wolverine Colossus at full.
Awesome. Really
cool power. I'm super excited that it's not just a power on these guys, it's now on all of them. I'm going to use it a lot. It's really flavorful. It allows me to change up, get powers that I need when I need it. I mean, I always have that extra something that I can do. It's really fun. It'll be more of a fun mechanic, not a competitive, but it's really cool. Last character I really want to talk about that I'm really excited for is Morgan Le Fay. She isn't an Avenger, but can go into Avengers team without breaking theme, and has trait Perplex for +2, or for Avengers. So I'm going to play her a whole lot. She has 12 movement, phase and teleport. She's also a flyer, so she can carry pieces and keep them with her. And she has this really cool power. At the beginning of the turn, you either choose combat reflexes or energy shield deflection. She can use that power at the end of the turn. And mix that with shape change that she has. Is it shape change? Yeah. Mix that with the shape change that they give her. Well, now you have a 33% chance of not being able to attack. And if you call it right, depending if they're really close or shooting you, you're going to have a 19 defense. Really powerful piece. 7 range, penetrating, 4 damage. She don't do a lot of damage. And as she takes damage, while her stats drop a bit, she picks up probability control. Really nice support piece at 122 points. She's also the Minions of Doom team ability, so that allows her to be a wild card as well. So she can pick up the X-Men team ability and help them heal. She can pick up the Avengers Initiative team ability if you're playing someone with her, so she can see through stealth to shoot people. Right. Mystics, so that when they hit her, she deals the damage back to them. Really cool, lots of options with her.
Yep.
In conclusion, for me, I really want to talk about how this set's an amazing set. They have introduced a lot of cool mechanics, the timing mechanic, giving you +1 defense when you're getting range attack, and being able to be carried by anyone. So Wolverine can carry around Ant-Man or Wasp, right? It fits fucking.
Yeah.
You know, that's really cool, very flavorful. I love any rule that gives me more options, something extra to look at when I'm looking at a model. Almost make it feel a little more realistic. I love anything like that. I'm not a big fan about how they have lower defenses. They've just generally lower defenses. But hey, I am, you know, you got a lot of options to help bring that up. And they still have made those big 18, 19 defense characters. They're just 200, 250, 300 points, like they should be in the first place.
Right.
So there's a lot bigger of a variety, which was actually a problem I was having with models recently, because I was like, every character starting to kind of look the same. Now that they've moved it around, I got a lot more options, a lot more things to look at. Very, very exciting.
Awesome. So there we go. That is the end of the first episode of Carlitoclix. We will be back, of course. We're definitely looking at continuing on with some tutorials and some information from our in-house Heroclix expert. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you very much, guys. Take it easy.